To, I think, Arnold's credit, he's like, nothing. There's nothing you could have done better. It took me a really long time to forgive myself, to forgive the whole situation. I think there will always be.
The real reason Maria Shriver has never dated again after Arnold. Maria Shriver was on a hotel bathroom floor. Early days of the divorce, and she did not cry. 25 years of marriage, 4 children, a Kennedy legacy she put on the line for one man. How does a woman who gave up everything choose 15 years alone over the possibility of love again? Because here is what I want you to understand. What Maria said in that final 2025 interview, what she admitted she had been carrying for over a decade. I genuinely did not see it coming. By the end of this, you will understand why some betrayals do not just end a marriage, they end the part of you that believes trust can be rebuilt. A Maria Shriver was born royalty without needing a crown. Kennedy blood. Peabody Award-winning journalist, Emmy winner. A last name that opened every door in America. She did not need Arnold Schwarzenegger to define her. But in 1977, at a charity tennis tournament, she met an Austrian bodybuilder with an impossible accent and bigger dreams. And she chose him anyway. Her family doubted, her mother raised her eyebrows, Uncle Ted made jokes at family dinners, but Maria saw something they did not. She saw ambition that matched her own, fearlessness, a man who made her laugh. 9 years of proving he was worth the Kennedy name. Then April 26, 1986, the Kennedy compound. 11-foot Dior train. Oprah read a poem. Andy Warhol was there. It was covered like a royal wedding because in America, the Kennedys were royalty. Maria bet everything on Arnold. For 15 years, it looked like she won. 4 children, a career at NBC. Arnold became the biggest action star in the world. The Terminator, Total Recall, True Lies. Maria balanced motherhood, journalism, a public life. They looked unstoppable. And then 1997 arrived. Maria pregnant with Christopher. Exhausted. Managing a household, a career, the California governor's race, and their housekeeper Mildred, also pregnant. Both women carrying Arnold's sons. Christopher was born September 27. Joseph was born October 25. Days apart, one mother knew the truth, the other one trusted a lie that was living in her own kitchen for 14 years. But here is the part you have not heard yet, and I need you to understand this. It is worse than you think. 2003. Gropegate. 6 women accused Arnold of unwanted touching during his campaign for governor. The media tore him apart, and Maria stood next to him, vouched for him. With her Kennedy name, she told the world he was a good man, put her entire credibility on the line because she believed her husband, he won, became governor. Maria became First Lady of California, a role she never wanted but performed flawlessly, because that is what Kennedys do. They show up, they smile, they serve. But while she was defending him publicly, he was lying to her privately about the housekeeper, about the child, about a 14-year secret living under the same roof where her own children slept. The affair was not the betrayal. The child was not the betrayal. The betrayal was this. She forgave him before. She defended him when the world called him a predator, and the whole time, he was lying to her face. Now, if you have ever defended someone you loved while your gut screamed at you to stop, you know what that does to you. It does not just break your trust in them, it breaks your trust in yourself. That is the part nobody talks about. When you realize you knew, somewhere deep down, and you chose to believe the lie anyway. Maria filed for divorce 4 days after confronting Mildred in early 2011. 10 years of legal warfare followed. The divorce was not finalized until 2021. 25 years of marriage, 14 years of lies, 10 years tied to the man who humiliated her in the most intimate way possible. And through it all, Maria never gave a vengeful interview, never attacked Arnold publicly, never turned her children against their father. She walked away in silence. And if this is starting to feel familiar, if you are recognizing something in your own story, you are not alone. This is the same pattern we saw with Melinda Gates, a woman who built an empire beside her husband, defended his vision to the world, only to discover the man she protected did not protect her in return. These are not isolated stories. This is what happens when loyalty becomes a one-way street. Now here is where Maria's story takes a turn that even Melinda's did not. Walking away from Arnold did not mean walking toward someone else. In a 2025 interview, Maria was asked about dating. She said she had never been on a dating app, said she was finally good on her own. She said something that stopped me cold. She used to think love only came in an intimate, romantic package. And that belief, she realized, made her miss out on the love already being offered through her friends, her children, her work. She spent her entire 60s single, 15 years since the divorce was filed. The only man she was publicly linked to was political analyst Matthew Dowd. 2013, they were spotted together, looked serious. Then in 2017, quietly, it ended. Maria never spoke about it, never confirmed it, just moved on. Alone. Why? Not because she could not find love, because she learned something about herself that we spend our whole lives avoiding. And what she said next? This is the part I did not see coming. What it feels like to forgive a man over and over, only to discover he never stopped needing forgiveness. Maria knows that, defending someone publicly while your instincts scream privately, she knows that too. Trusting someone with your entire life, your home, your children, your body, and discovering that trust was never sacred to him the way it was sacred to you, she knows what that costs. And once you know that, once you feel that, you do not move on, you rebuild. Rebuilding is not finding another man to fill the space. Arnold left. Rebuilding is figuring out who you are when you are not forgiving someone, when you are not defending someone, when you are not making excuses. In her book, I Am Maria, she wrote about that hotel bathroom floor moment in the early days of the divorce, consumed with grief, racked with confusion, anger, fear, unsure of who she was, where she belonged. Without her marriage, without her parents, without her job as First Lady, the dam of her lifelong denial just blew apart. Lying on that floor, she whispered to herself 5 words. Maria, make it a new beginning. And I want to stop here for a moment, because that moment, that choice, is the hardest one any of us will ever make. To look at the wreckage of everything we thought we were building and decide it is not the end. It is permission. Permission to stop performing. Permission to stop forgiving what should never have needed forgiving. Permission to finally put yourself first. Maria has kept that promise for 14 years, launched the Sunday paper, wrote best-selling books, founded the women's Alzheimer's movement after her father died of the disease, returned to NBC, dropped Schwarzenegger from her name, became Maria again, the journalist, the Kennedy who walked through fire, and she did it alone, by choice, because she finally understood something that took 70 years to learn. Love does not have to come in a romantic package to be real. And trust, once shattered the way Arnold shattered hers, does not come back just because you want it to. Maria has never truly dated again, because she does not need to. She already proved she is enough to herself, and that is the only person who ever needed convincing. 25 years of explaining herself to a man who never deserved it. She was done. She was free. If Maria's story stayed with you, you need to watch what happened to Melinda Gates when she finally walked away from Bill. The pattern is almost identical, but what Melinda did in the first year after her divorce is something Maria did not do until year 10. That video is linked at the end of this one.